So it's quite heartening to see DIS being implemented and people from other vocations and other fitness levels being able to participate as much, if not even more than us.
Yeah. The better analogy is like, last time James Bond, right, is this flashy person. But actually, the most impressive person is not James Bond. It's the Mr. Q behind, right? Who knows, who's actually providing him with all the information, the technologies, and the guy that actually already prepared the battlefield before he goes in the dashing manner to save the day, right? Today, I think we are more like that. In fact, last time, the Air Force was the only one that says the BVR, the Beyond Visual Range. They try to hit the target even without seeing it. But today, I think, whether it's Army, Air Force, and certainly the DIS, they are all doing the beyond the visual range, right? Because you don't even see your enemy person to person.
Yeah. So moving on, let's talk about new citizens and PRs who are actually entering national service as well. So like Christo, he's like the first person in his family to enter national service. So they have this unfamiliarity or fear among themselves. They don't even know what they're jumping into. So what is being done to comfort them or reassure them in a sense?
Before you enter service, right? I'm the first one in my family, you were the first one in your family, right? Where do you get your information? And let's compare notes.
To be honest, okay, so my parents came in like 20 years ago. Born in Singapore, I was raised up here. So my first wave of information definitely came from my friends. In fact, I grew up knowing almost subconsciously that NS exists. And one day, there will come a day where I do attend NS. So it was kind of common knowledge at that point in time.
The difference now and then, okay, of course, I think usually our first source of information are friends, relatives, family members. Today, I think there's also a lot of things on the internet that's made available. No, seriously, during my time, when I got enlisted, I don't know what is Army, Air Force, Navy. I don't even know what's the different rank structure. I remember I got scolded on the first day. I was told, whenever you see somebody, just call sir. So, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. Then on the first day, then the sergeant came. Stop calling me sir. I'm a sergeant. Call me sergeant. And I was like, what's the difference between sergeant and sir? Really blur, right? So, but I think today we have much more information, right? But the problem with too much information is also a problem, right? Because you hear too many things. But I think what has also changed is that now I think maybe y'all were given some choices, right? Whether you want to go command school and not. Then you have to indicate in BMT. Maybe not in school 5, but in the other schools you were asked. And then sometimes I think you are also given choices as to whether you want to be considered for infantry, commandos and whatnot. So now you have choice. Doesn't mean that you always get your choice, but at least you indicate. During my time, there was no such things. We all just go in. Then suddenly at the end of BMT, it's like, Ruben, infantry. Crystal, commando. Then we're like, why? Why? Nobody knew, right? You don't know what's the black box. So I think today, many more sources of information that people can refer to. And I think for many of those who are born in Singapore, many of them, the parents would have served. But for those whose parents have never served, like some of the new citizens, I think today we even run talks for the parents. During my time, there's no such things. There's no such things as the SAFRA or the schools won't have talks for the parents. Today, actually, I think we are quite customer friendly.
That's a nice way to put it.
SAFRA and the schools, including some of the international schools, you have people going in to tell the pre-enlistees what to expect. And this has really changed. During my time, there was no such things, right? But today, I think quite friendlier. Friendlier. So you progressively give information. And I think today, they've also changed. Last, like now, I think your time, do you have this where your parents write letter to you, then they give it out to you during field camp?
Yeah, we did.
And then, then you start crying.
Yeah.
Last time, there's no such thing. There's no such thing as what your parents write letter to you, they give it out during field camp. We never had such things, right? Last time, if you go in, don't get into trouble, don't get confined over the weekend. And every weekend is a high tension moment. It's like whether you can book out, right, or you get punished, then you get stuck in the camp for another weekend. You burn your weekend. That's quite normal.
Now we even have like our boys to men.
We both although I must say our boys to men may not be the most accurate.
Watch it, get the feels.
High School Musicals.
So now today the UX experience is better. So is there about this concept? User experience.
Right.
But like, were your parents were they fearful? Like, were they asking you questions? Were they curious?
Funnily enough, they were not. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they knew I was going, but they were not. And honestly, I'm quite thankful that my dad didn't go NS because I don't think he would have stopped talking about it. If anything, it would have made me more interest.
For your kids, right?
So I think I was in a better place.
Yeah.
Than like second or third gen Singaporeans.
Yeah. But you see, there's also a pros and cons. If your dad had gone through NS, then your dad might be like, "Ay, now you are so easy, so soft." It's always one of those. Maybe your dad would have told you,
So my
when I was your age,
Yeah.
the stories come out, right?
Yes, correct.
So I don't know about your dad go through
Have
NS?
mine also, mine
Ah,
also.
yeah.
Mine we went to school fighter. Back in my day, the bed very thin one.
Ah,
Then I like, the bed must be really shook now. Then walk in the toilet, the toilet like nice only. But lucky got no heater. I found that one, God bless today.
So indeed, actually, we saw that on the first day of BMT, whenever we bring the parents. Okay, last time, parents don't go on the first day of BMT,
Yeah.
right? So now, I think today the parents go on the first day, then they get this orientation tour. Then we always see this very interesting reaction between the fathers and the mothers. Both of them will say, "Wow, how can the bunk be like that?"
Yeah.
Right.
That's where the similarities ends.
Yeah.
The mother's like, "Wow, how can the bunk be like that? So many people in one bunk, then all sleep so close together." Then the man is like, exactly what Ruben's son said. "How can the bunk be like that? Last time my mattress was like that. It's not even called a mattress. It's called a sponge. Okay. Nowadays you have what 4-inch mattress 6-inch mattress
Correct.
Then wow, how can the toilet be like that? Huh? Last time the toilet was Then they go and eat the food, right?
Oh yes, the
Then
food.
the food is a favorite talking point.
Right,
Then,
right.
then
I've heard
those
that too.
parents who have been through it, right? The fathers who have been through it, it's like, wow, this is a buffet feast. I say last time, then they tell you all the story. The fish ball like ping pong ball can bounce.
Yeah. Why is this a common story? It's like they all rehearse, you know.
They all
Yeah.
tell you this story. That last time if you don't treat the cooks properly, they may put special extra thing into your drink.
Yes.
So all kind of horror stories, right? So whereas now it's like, wow, you have sets cooked meal.
Yep.
Wow, you can choose your food. This one really like buffet like that.
Right.
So then the mothers were like, no. I think this one only first day, only BMT like that one. Then after that they listen to the kids. Every day you all eat. Like that one. But I think the expectations have also changed. I must share with you this other funny story. So there was once I was last time I was chief of army, right? So I was in charge of. Then I see the recruits coming out from Tekong. Last time we were very scared, so we all train very hard to prepare ourselves because we're just very scared that you're not ready for basic military training. Whereas now they have swung to the other extreme. So I remember seeing one mother came to fetch the son. And mother look at the son. Oi, what happened to him? Then we all look at the son. Nothing. Okay, not injured. Nothing happened. I mean the hair got crooked. That's all. Say no. Why is he still so fat?
Oh.
Then we're like, what do you mean he's still so fat? He said, I let him be with you for 2 weeks. Then he's still so fat. Then we're like, auntie, he was with you for 18 years. He just came in for 2 weeks. Cannot be so fast. But you see, what actually, I realized the difference is this. Last time we were very scared, right? Go in, train, make sure that you're ready. Whereas now, everybody said that, don't worry, just leave it to the SAF. You eat whatever you want. When you go in, they will take care of you.
Yes.
Then you'll come out.
That's what I actually hear from my friends when they went to NS as well. They treat NS is like, especially the first 2 BMT time, it's like personal training.
Yes.
No, in fact, it is called...
Looks flexing.
It's a physical training phrase. But they literally sound, then they take it as it's personal training.
Yeah.
So why you bother? And it's not like as if you got to pay for gym fees or anything, right?
Yeah.
In fact, you go down there, got dietitian, look at your diet, look at the food you eat. Then you got a physical training instructor to make sure that you get the correct training, you're not injured. And even if in the unfortunate instance where you get injured, you got physio and things like that.
Yeah.
So today, I think the mental model has shifted quite a lot. Last time you were very afraid. You cannot run fast enough. You may get to stay back during the weekend, confinement, and do extra training. Whereas now it's like, don't worry, it's so scientific. So things like and the training has changed and it has become much more scientific. Last time we did, the day I just went to BMT and I saw the big change. Last time I said, hey, run faster, run faster. Then you don't know who is putting in effort, right? Both of them, then you look at him like, I think he's sweating. I think got put in effort. Then this guy like, he's not sweating. Maybe you run again because maybe you didn't put in effort. Nowadays, they are so scientific. They have this heart rate monitor everybody wears, right?
Yep.
Yes, correct.
Then they look at, the instructor just look at the screen. They know, hey, Ruben, looks like your heart rate haven't reached the thing. Can you
Pick up a bit, pick up.
pick up a bit? Then it's like, hey, you overexerted already. Can you hey, slow down?
Oh.
So how do you know? So actually the training has become much more scientific, right? So last time they used this word called tekan, right? It's like,
Yeah.
like, sounds like it torture you. Now it's called resilience training. So now actually they know how far you are pushing, and because you don't want people to push too hard. In fact, actually the most dangerous ones are those who are very on and they tend to want to do their best,
overexert,
right?
right?
Whereas those people who are trying to skive, even before the stomach pain come, cannot already, right? So actually today we are much more scientific to know actually who can push a bit more and who actually is have done enough. So actually today the training is much more scientific compared to what we had in the past. Yeah.
That's really nice. And so, how do you think NS serves as a common ground from youths from different diverse backgrounds to come and integrate together and then show their Singapore spirit?
Well, I think they would know. They would have gone into NS with all kinds of people from different. I'm quite sure you have people who either born in Singapore, live in Singapore throughout, maybe born elsewhere, came to Singapore, born elsewhere, just came back to Singapore, or even born in Singapore, live elsewhere, and came back to Singapore to serve.
Yeah.
So you got quite a lot of.
It was quite a widespread. It was just
Quite
like
widespread.
school, honestly.
Yeah, it's a bit of school. So you learn to take care of one another.
Yeah.
And I think those are the friendships that you make for life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like the story you're sharing was that what they need to do 6 in-camp cycle, but they want to finish all together. So they're even prepared to delay the thing so that everybody come together and have that final moment. I think that's nice. So I think when you go through a unit where you start together and you end together, that's where that camaraderie comes in.
Yes.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
So our NS is quite different from others. I mean, others, they may just do your basic training and say, okay, then you go back to CV streets and the civilian street and then you just do whatever you want. Then when we call you back, then we try and figure out where to put you in. I think the unique thing about the Singapore system is that by the vast majority of the NSF will go into operational unit and they would have an assigned operation. So you actually know who you are working with for the rest of your life. And that is quite interesting. So like for his whole, I think, company, right, your whole commando company, 100 odd of you will all work together for the rest of your life. For him, it's a slightly different because I think you are in what we call the evergreen unit because his unit is not a mono intake unit. So you got different batches coming in. So again, the camaraderie is a bit different, but they all go in batch by batch together.
Yeah. And they all just get bonded
Yep.
over the
Whether you
similar
like it or
experience.
not,
Yes.
you'll get bonded. Let me ask you a very simple question. Okay, so while you may say that you have not served NS like the two of them, right? If something happened to Singapore,
Yeah.
or you think something is going to happen to Singapore, and I give you a rifle, would you want to learn how to shoot?
Yes, of course.
Okay, that's useful.
Yeah.
Because that's our philosophy, which is that,
Right.
should anything happen to Singapore, actually it's not just the NSF, the 50,000, the NS men, the 250,000. Actually, everyone in Singapore can do something.
Yeah.
And I want to give every Singaporean who is security cleared and able and willing to do something the chance. That's why when we design our new MMRC and things like that, it's not just for the NSF and the NS men, but for someone like yourself, maybe one day you might be interested to join the boot camp, or one day, even if you don't join the boot camp, if something really happened, we will have the rifles, and if you are confident, we will give you the training, and then you will play a part, either in military defense or elsewhere. But I think that's the power of the Singapore defense system, that we can call upon people like yourself. I mean, you answer me very spontaneously, because I think a lot of Singaporean females, new citizens, PRs, they also want to be able to do something for Singapore. That's why we want to expand the SAF volunteer corps. We want to expand the system, because we also want our NS men and NSF to know that actually they are not going to operate alone, but we have the entire Singapore supporting them when they go into operations. Yeah.
Dash, I fully expect you to go for the boot camp. By the way.
This is another public announcement for the Tamil Murasu bosses that Dash will be going for his boot camp that we have already signed her up.
I think more than my bosses, I think the person that needs to be convinced is my parents.
I think your dad is more than happy to send you.
No, actually not.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He was a regular. So
Yeah.
thank you for making my day. So at least I was wondering what answer you give me.
How does Singapore balance maintaining a strong deterrent military posture while actively building peaceful, friendly relationships with our regional neighbours?
So this is very tough because in the military, we always say you need two things. You need capabilities, you need to ascertain people's capabilities, and you need to ascertain people's intention. The more we build up our capability, the more effort we need to spend to help build up the defense diplomacy type to assure people that we have no bad intention. But at the same time, we must also continuously detect if there are changes in the external environment. And this is why all those bilateral, multilateral meetings, bilateral, multilateral exercises are so important. On one hand, when you interact with other people, whether is it from the minister level to the soldiers level, you are trying to ascertain people's capability and also intent. Are they really capable? Are they not capable? Do they have bad intentions? Do they have good intentions? And actually, it's a bit of a signaling exercise, and people kind of figure out. And if people lose respect of us through the exercises or the interactions, then it's actually quite dangerous.
Yeah.
On the other hand, if people misread our intent, then you can cause misunderstanding. Or if we misread other people's intent, then you might cause misunderstanding. So there's a lot of work behind the scene trying to build up the trust, and these are not short-term effort. So for example, let's say if I meet Ruben just for the first time, and I talk to him for 30 minutes, half an hour, and he tells me something, then I'm like, okay, I hear you, but do I really understand what you're trying to tell me? But if I've known him for 20, 30 years, then whatever he tells me, I have a certain baseline that I can gauge from, right? Today, is he a bit more worked up, less worked up?
Yeah.
Today, has his perception of threat changed, and what does it mean for us? But at the end of the day, I think what is invariant is that we must always have some real capabilities, because nobody will work with us or play with us or talk to us if we are not having real capabilities, right? Because nobody wants to waste their time, right? So like if somebody say, hey, should I exercise with Rubens from the DIS? Then they all go down there and show that they cannot do anything. Then that'll be the last time anybody wants to interact with them, right? Then or commandos, right? He said, okay, exercise with the commandos. Then they go down there, they miss their target, lost their way. Then people look at you like, hey, what kind of... Then not only nobody wants to exercise with them anymore, then people will figure out that, hey, you cannot be serious, right? If these are your best people in the commandos and then you have this type of standard, nobody will want to believe us, right? But on the other hand, I think what we have achieved is that whether it's NSF or NSMen, whenever our people go and exercise with others, whenever we talk to people, I think people respect us for what we are able to do and what we are able to do seriously. And that is also part of the deterrence, that we don't want people to miscalculate or misread our perception, misread our intention or our capabilities. So we must make sure that people understand our capabilities and our intentions clearly. But it's a very fine balance, because you don't want to be too arrogant or show too much things. On the other hand, you want to have a certain quiet confidence.
Yeah.
And we always say that actually, the more capable you are, the less you need to show off.
Yep.
Because you are confident of yourself. You don't have to go and tell people. But in defense, I think the biggest dilemma for us is, how do we communicate this? You can't tell people too much, because you need to maintain some secrecy of your own capabilities, right? In case you go into operations. But if you don't tell people enough, people might misunderstand your capabilities and intention. On the other hand, for our domestic public, you don't share enough, then people think that, hey, I don't know why I spend my defense budget on, whether you're using the money well. You tell our people too much, then this other side also here, or you tell our people too much and too often about the kind of threats we are facing, then people will say that, hey, you don't cry wolf every day, Because I think they will know, right? All soldiers cannot always maintain 100% vigilance, right? But if you keep telling the person, hey, you must be alert, after a while the fellow will get tired, right? Then how do you make sure that you maintain that vigilance without getting him tired? So this is the art and science of maintaining our vigilance. It's like just now what we say, after you look at Ukraine, you look at Israel and everybody else, and you say that, how do you maintain that vigilance without the fella thinking that you are crying wolf and then they become a bit blasé about the whole thing. But you also don't say anything, right? But whatever we want to say, it must be very calibrated at the time of our own choosing, so that we say enough for people to not misread our intent and capabilities, say enough to instill confidence in our people, but not say too much and then turns out to be negative. But I must say that I've been very thankful for all my NSF and NS men, because you see, we run a conscription armed force and they all operate classified systems in their units. We don't have a lot of people going public and say that, oh, I do this, I did that. And I think we're very thankful because they are all very matured. They know how to keep what is secret and they don't need to go and brag about it. It's not the equipment that we buy that's most important. It's not just the training, but you know, that will to stand our ground, the will to say that, well, I will do what I need to do as a Singaporean. So of course there will always be naysayers, but so long as they are the little minority, the vast majority will be the one who hold the ground and say that, we'll do what we can. So that gives me confidence.
And that's a wrap. A huge thank you to Minister Chan, 3rd Sergeant Ruben and Christo for sharing with us the extraordinary work behind the scenes to keep Singapore secure, both on the ground and online. To our viewers, do share with us your thoughts on the modern vocations in the comments below. Stay safe, happy SAF Day, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Bye!
Bye.